Hey folks, welcome back. It is week 6. And I hope you guys saw over the weekend, I posted a couple of announcements, including a video that goes into a lot of depth about including research in your writing and properly citing it. That, of course, is one of the biggest challenges that we face in this class and really in college writing. So I wanted to keep that kind of separate from our normal weekly walkthroughs, which should be fairly quick, but please check that out. The other thing I posted over the weekend is because in Unit 6, our current unit, you're going to be writing about an advertisement. I wanted to remind you that what a better time to keep an eye out for inventive advertising than Super Bowl weekend. So hopefully you guys caught that. And the good news is, if not, there will be websites today sharing all of the Super Bowl advertisements. It's just a good resource for this particular assignment because, of course, some people really do watch the football just to see those ads every year. Personally, my favorite part was the halftime show this year. But anyway, I'm that age. So let's take a look at the course. And let me get my screen ready here to share. Okay. So we are coming into the home stretch of English 110. You've got next week, 7 is when we'll turn in the actual argument essay. So this is kind of crunch time to get going on that. Here's the announcements that I was telling you about. Of course, here's the one from Super Bowl, but here is the video that I wanted you to make sure that you take a look at. This one is the one that will really dig into citing sources and incorporating research into your writing. You'll be getting some more feedback, of course, on your writing this week, but the introduction paragraph, of course, oftentimes doesn't have any research in it. So if you were not, well, whether you were happy or not with your score in week 4, really go back and pay attention to the feedback on that and watch this video. I think it will help. All right, so we're in Unit 6. We are really digging into argument, and you are learning the traditional elements of argument, including logos, ethos, and pathos. You're going to be reading about them, so I'm not going to, talk too much about them right now, but these are what we call appeals. And in the world of argumentative writing, you want your writing to mostly rely on logos, thinking, logic. This is one reason we've been talking a lot about fact versus opinion. However, for something to be a logical appeal, it doesn't necessarily have to be just a solid fact of like percentages or numbers or things like that. Other experts' opinions are considered logical appeal. And so that's why we not only encourage, but practically force you to do your research using the post-university library, because people who have been published on a particular topic, we can almost be guaranteed that they are truly experts. This is in contrast, of course, with looking things up online on the internet and Googling things, because we're probably going to find a lot of things that are written by experts, but we're going to find a lot of things that are not, which is kind of also tied into the ethos or the ethical appeal. If a writer is being fair, and I won't use the term unbiased because all people are biased, but if a writer is being fair, he or she is not going to only supply you with the things that back their own position up. They're going to be honest about the things that might weigh favorably to the other side. So you also, as you are writing your argument, are going to rely on logic. You're going to be fair and ethical about the way that you present information. And then we also want that emotional connection or the pathos. The problem with pathos is that sometimes it's used unfairly. Um, Telling somebody a sad story and then asking them for money is kind of a misuse of pathos. However, we're coming up, well, we're not coming up on it. It is today, Valentine's Day. You're going to see ads for rings and things like that. They are not going to appeal to logic. They're not going to focus on how many carats there are or this kind of thing. They're going to focus on the feelings. So there are certainly some things that you need that pathos or that emotional appeal. So you're going to be reading about those, and they're pretty fascinating. When you analyze your arguments or your advertisements, I think you're mostly going to find that emotional connection and less about logic. But that's not always true either. If you think about a lot of car commercials and truck commercials and vehicle commercials in general, they do tend to give you a lot of logic, the safety features, the miles per gallon, all those kinds of things would fall under the logical appeal. So it's an interesting mix in advertisement. So that's what we're doing this week. You have, of course, as usual, readings and resources. You are going to be reading about what is argument. You're learning a little bit about transitions because, of course, we're getting ready to write a much longer piece that will have transitions throughout it. We have been doing single paragraphs, so we don't need those as much. So you're going to have an activity about that. Rhetoric and argument, like I said, this is the real background of argumentative strategies. So make sure that you read all of these carefully before you start working on your discussion and, of course, the final, the paper itself, which we're still working on. And of course, we have some videos which are helpful as well. So take a look at all of those. And then you will be doing your Unit 6. You have a discussion and a knowledge check. So no writing assignment this week. But feel free to keep working on those papers. And that way, the sooner you get going on them, the more you can ask me questions. So keep that in mind. Let's take a look at the blah, 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 I can't talk this morning, rhetorical appeals analysis discussion board. Begin by selecting an advertisement for a popular product, such as soda, food, clothing brand, or a car. Now, unlike the review that you did of a product, this should be an actual advertisement. Now, it doesn't have to be a TV commercial. It could be a billboard. It could be a print advertisement that you see in a magazine or something like that, or even online, like a visual ad that somebody has placed on a website. But then you're going to analyze that argument or analyze that advertisement. I don't know why I can't get that word in my head today. Write one paragraph considering the advertisement rhetorically by answering these questions. And this is logos, ethos, and pathos. How does the advertisement logically sell the product to the customer? What emotions does the advertisement create in you after viewing it? And what makes you trust the brand in the advertisement or not trust them? Please include a link to the advertisement in your post. Make sure to review the readings and resources to learn about it beforehand. So as far as finding a link, like I said, if you use a Super Bowl commercial, there will be collections of them out there today. You should be able to Google it and find it. YouTube, of course, has a lot of older advertisements on it if you want to do something kind of classic. If it is a print ad or a billboard or something like that, you would want to find a picture of it or get a picture of it and attach that. We need to be able to see or listen to or read the advertisement that you are analyzing. So this one will be a little bit longer than most of your discussions. This should really be 3 full paragraphs, one on logos, one on ethos, and one on pathos. All right. And then, of course, your logic, your knowledge check. is set up just like the other ones have been. It's a more of a test feeling, but you can retake it several times if you want to. Um, and as usual, of course, if you have any questions, please reach out and I am happy to help. Don't forget to view that video. In the meantime, there's my plug. All right, guys, thanks. Have a great week and I will see you next Monday.